Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let's see. We can have more people join the stream. So I think we have like few people on the stream right now. Hello. Let's see if we can have more people join before we have some fun while building something amazing together and hacking APIs and webhooks together today. Hello, if you're just joining, don't forget to register and check in if you have not done so. I just left the link on the comment section. Excited to have every one of you on the stream. Hi. Hi, Raul. How are you doing? Hi, everyone. Let me know where you are tuning in from. How is your day going? And tell me how excited you are to learn something new and to hack on webhooks and APIs today. And while we're on it, remember to check in, please. Okay, so one more minute and we'll just get started. I think we are more people are joining the stream, so let's wait a little bit to have more people join. So if you're just joining us, go ahead and check in if you have notes. And let me know how your day has been so far, and let me know how excited you are. Oh, Raul, first time joining an MAH event. Happy to be here. You're so welcome. Glad to have you join us. At MAH community, we just hack and build amazing things together. So it's gonna be a fun one. So go ahead and check in if you're just joining us. If you have not registered, go ahead and register. Register and check in. I just dropped the link again on the comment section. And while we are waiting for more people to join, I want to know. I know some of you joined my previous stream. If you did, let me know. If you joined my previous stream where we discuss about APIs and webhooks, the differences, and how they actually works. If you were on their stream, just let me know in the comment section. I want to know. So this is going to be more of a step forward to that stream. It's not like a part two of it. Hi, Modis. I see. So you were on that stream. Okay. So it's not like a part two of the previous stream, but so if you were on that stream, we literally discussed about webhooks and API and the differences and how it works. And we use non-code platforms to automate events. So we are going to keep building on top of that, but this time we are going to take the matters into our own hands. So it's going to be more of a custom platform we are going to build. So if you join that stream, uh, we saw how we can use tools like Make. If this is your first time of hearing Make, is a non-code platform that just helps you to automate processes and events. So we actually saw how we can use Make to trigger, when event is being triggered, make listings to it using webhook, and then we can actually react to uh, the event, right? So, but this time we are not going to depend on Make or Zyper or 8 and 8. So these are all automation platforms that help you do that. So literally they give you a webhook that you can plug in into the system, and it listens to the system when there's an event, and you can trigger an action. Today we're actually going to focus. Hi Sean, happy to have you on the stream again. How is Italy today? I remember you tuned in from Italy. Am I correct? I So today we'll focus more on building our own webhook instead of depending on a different on existing platform. So we're going to see behind the scene what it looks like to build a yes. Sean is responding to how is Italy today. Italy's fine. Thanks for asking. You're welcome. So we'll be focusing on building our own webhook, our own integrator. So instead of using Make or using Zappa or using N8N, we'll be building our own integrator. So our integrator will have our own webhook. We will have our own webhook that listing to an event and sends reacts to it basically. So that's the whole point of webhook. It reacts to events. So we'll see how we can build our own custom RESTful API using Node.js, and then build our own webhook that listens to whenever something happens. Let's say someone fills a form, we're gonna use form again, but I mean it's not really about forms. Again, forms is all about taking data, right? So again, I mean, it's similar to what we do on a day to day. Is all about data. You're giving information, you receive information back. I mean, so form is like a typical example of building showing you exactly how APIs and webhooks work. So we'll see that in action really soon. So instead of using platforms that allows us to use their webhook and listen to an event and then react, we'll build our own integrator, right? So we're going to build a very tiny mini integrator with, let me just confirm, yeah, 78 lines of code, probably. So it's going to be fun, and we're going to see how these platforms like Make, Zyper works in real life. Okay. Okay, so just before we dive in, if you have not registered and checked in, please do so using the link on the screen, and I'll drop the link again on the comment section. I see. So Sean say very nice project. I use N8N sometimes. Yeah, yeah, nice platform. N8, Make, Zyper, uh, FITTI, another platform. Yeah. So a whole lot of platforms are there. They're just awesome. So we're gonna see what actually happens behind the scene. Like what's happening with this platform. Like there, when you plug in, use the webhook, we want to see how we can build our own. What if we don't really want to depend on them? We want to build our own custom integrator. So that's what we're gonna see, and we will connect that to Slack. I also show you how to do that on Discord, but we'll be using Slack as a case study, throughout today. So I'm Vincent, and I'm your technical content streamer here at Major League Hacking, and let's have some fun. So you may be wondering, why do I really need to build my own? Again, you don't need to, right? But then integrating applications allows you to save time, sure, and it reduces manual tasks. I mean, but we can actually do this using other platforms. But what if you are building a very complex, you know, high honorat? Yeah, I was going to pronounce that as honorat, but then I remember the H is silent. Hi honorat, how you doing today? Nice to have you on the stream. So back to, why should I build my own integration? You don't have to, but there are situations where companies build their own integration. Now, hear me out. It could be to be used internally, or also to expose other people to use the platform. So let's say you are building a platform and you want to give users the ability to use webhooks as well. you know expose webhooks to them so they can use it for their own system to use the platform. Maybe it's a SaaS, a software as a service. So these are scenarios where you can use them. But apart from that, sure. I mean, if we're looking at the general use of integration, they just help you save time and they help keep things in flow. It's all about workflow. If this happens, I want this other thing to happen. It's like connector. We connect all these things together because we want to be able to avoid manual processes of doing things. You want to be able uh, to sleep while you're sleeping. If something is wrong, you want to be alerted. If the system is done, you want to get a notification so you can react to it. So it's all about event and reacting. So that's basically why we need integrations, right? And just like I always use this example, you want to be able to get information, like receive informations without asking, right? So that's mainly the two differences between APIs and webhooks. Behind this, I mean, APIs is going to be there. We need them to actually for the webhooks to work, right? But the difference is APIs is there, and you have to call. So on my last stream where we discussed differences between API and webhook, I used a scenario of pizza, right? So when you order pizza from a pizza shop, you ask them, "Hi, is my pizza ready?" That is you calling an API. You're making a call. You have to call. You have to chat. "Hi, is my pizza ready?" And the pizza shop has to respond back to you. "Oh, it's ready." Or, "Okay, we're processing it." Or, "Okay, we send it out for delivery." But you asked before you receive an answer. Why webhooks? We are automating the process. I don't want to ask. Just let me know when the pizza is ready. So I Yeah, just like what I just explained few seconds ago. Webhooks, APIs, webhooks. The key difference is APIs allows application to request data on demand. Again, there have to be a request. While webhooks, it just enables application to push data automatically. You don't need to ask. So the pizza scenario is like the puzzle to differences between APIs and webhooks. I have to click send for API to work. I need to request. If I don't request, I don't get something back. While webhooks, I don't have to click send. Uh, it just happens. It's waiting for an event and it reacts to that event. So that's the key difference here. Okay, so let's look at a little bit how platforms like Zyper, Makes, uh, N8N, how these platforms work. Uh, if you look at the diagram here, you have a trigger. So the trigger is listening to when something happens. So trigger is more like an event, right? It's like if somebody calls your name, you answer. So the trigger there is the call. So there's a trigger. Something have to happen. Is listening. So webhooks they're just listening to a trigger. Listening to an event. So you can call it trigger. You can call it an event. So they're listening when something happens. So there's a trigger, and then there's a logic. So the logic is mainly the webhook here is basically all the whole three stuffs here: trigger, logic, action. So it's listening to when something happens. Maybe when you click a button. Think about it like when you visit a website, you click a button. If you're on a Zoom call or Google Meet, you click your camera button. It reacts. Your camera reacts. It's goes live. So that's like, take that as an example. Something has to happen for it to react, right? So there's a trigger and there's a logic. So the logic is what should happen. So the logic is your if and else statement. When you're writing a program, you are checking if this happens, then react this way. You know, X react another way. So there's always a condition. So the logic here is a condition. And then what happens when each of the logic is met is the action. So behind the scene, this is literally how these applications work. Zyper, Make, N8. And so behind the scene, this is how the components all come together. So, but we're going to build our own version of it, a very tiny version, and we're going to be using Node.js. Uh, I'm going to drop a link on the comment section, and I'll share my screen also to show that link, to show the web page. So I love everyone to follow along during my streaming sessions. So the web page I'm dropping gives you. Don't worry. So I'll drop it here, and I'll go ahead and open it. So we have the link on the screen and also on the comment section. Okay, just bringing that to the screen right here. So this is the web page I just dropped, and just to give you a quick you know demo of what we are going to build or how the integration engine really works. And just for the purpose of using Zyper or Make, I'll just do a quick demo. But yeah, we did that on our live stream, but I just want to show how these platforms looks like. And I just mentioned them, but let's take a look at how they actually looks like and how they work. Just before I go ahead to sign into make.com, let's look at how the integration agent works. So there's a trigger. Let's say you submitted a form in fill out, or there's a request from any website at all. Then the server is listening. The server is listening, and then there's an action, right? So I have a text here. So this is like more of a filter. So these engines, the integration engines, they use this a lot, where you are filtering a specific action. Let's say you have a form, or you have a form, or on your website you have uh, admin sign up, and you have normal user sign up. You want to be alerted. You want to receive a notification specifically when someone logs in as an admin, right? So this is more like sensitivity. Okay, let's use the banking industry for example. There's a limit of money you can withdraw in your account. There's always limit set on each account based on your profile and your net worth. And let's say you are not allowed to withdraw more than $5,000, for instance. So the bank sets an alert. If you withdraw more than $5,000, notify the bank manager, or put the account on hold. So that's a filter. You're filtering the action. So what happens if this account withdraws or try to make a request, not actually withdraws, because if it will not allow the process to end, or maybe it will. So, but the bigger picture here is there is a filter, and there is an action that should happen when that filter meets the criteria. So if this person withdraws more than $5,000, if you make a request for $6,000, send an alert to the bank manager. It could be via email, it could be via Slack, for review and so forth. If we look at it from a company perspective, if let's say a user, or let's use Instagram as an example, or let's use Twitter, X as an example. If an account is reported, something happens, there is a filter, that sends a notification to a specific team that reviews that account. So that is literally how integrations work. So apart from just sending information directly, they also give you option to filter the information coming in and to react differently if specific event happens. So for example, let's say we're sending important data, and let's say we're using score here as an example. If the score is literally 97 or more than 42, probably. Okay, if the score is like greater than 50, yeah, that's the logic here. If it's greater than 50, then notify the team. So if you look at this, yeah. So when I click on send important score, this is 95, right? So it's greater than 50, of course. So it will trigger the server will go on and it will notify the team. But then if it is less than, we don't want to notify anybody, right? So it comes here, the trigger, and it reached the server. I mean, it's going to work. Whatever action that is set to work will work, but then there's no notification that comes in here. So there's no, it sends a noisy data that is not going to alert. It's not going to blow a whistle. So it's like a whistle blower. If you see something, say something. But if you don't see something, then nothing to say. Okay, so just giving you a picture of behind the scene how the systems help you to filter informations coming in. So for the workshop, for the stream and the hands-on demo, we have prerequisites that you need. Again, you need Node.js because we'll be writing JavaScript, Node.js API. We'll be using Express library for that. Don't worry, it's just going to be a very tiny code. And the source code is also on this page, so you can just copy it and paste it on your favorite editor, and we'll just edit it. Okay. Then you can just sign up for a free Slack. You can just create a free Slack workspace. If you don't have one, if you have Slack, you can just create one real quickly while we are still here. Just create the free trial Slack. Just create a channel. That's all. And this is optional, but I'll also show you how we can actually use our custom webhook on platforms like fill out form. So listening to when someone fills a form, and we can do something, programmatically on our platform. So this is us building our integration that we can actually use without relying on platforms like Make and so forth. Okay. So I just wanted to share this prerequisite. So you just need Node.js. So if you don't have one, just download Node.js on your system. You can just spin up Slack. You can just go to slack.com, spin up a Slack organization. Just create. You can actually use the free trial. So just spin up a free trial Slack organization and just create a channel. So we'll be using that. I forgot to mention, we also need, okay, that's not a problem. We'll go through this one together. So this is not going to be a problem at all. So just this Node.js, and if you have Slack, and you go to go. Then on your own, I will challenge you after on your own to expand and integrate other platforms like Discord, like listening to sending the data to Discord or, you know, any other resources, basically, WhatsApp, X, do a tweet. It could be, you can literally do anything you can think of, when something happens. Let's say you just have the webhook that listening to when when someone gives a testimony on your platform. Let's use that for example, and you want to retweet that testimony. Maybe the testimony asks the user for their username, their testimony, and you want to automate the process. So once someone gives a testimony or a let's use testimony as an example, or maybe a good feedback. You have so this could be a filter. The filter could be, you have a rating and you're checking if it's 5 star. Oh yeah, you have like an option drop down where the user pick either good or bad. If it's a good review they'll try to give, or maybe they're trying to give a negative feedback, not negative in a way that, you know this is not what I want. But you just want to tweet automatically the positive feedback, using that as an example. So that's the use case. So you can actually expand on the knowledge you'll be getting from the stream. Okay, so back to, so you have this web page. Dropped it on the link on the comment section, so you can actually have access to the code base, and you can play along with these. And basically, every other single thing we'll be doing today is all here. So setting up the project, and the code base is also here, and the Slack incoming webhook action, which we're just gonna go through this one after the other. But before then, let me show you how platforms like Zyper and Make works. So I'm gonna use Make as an example. So I go to Make. I already have an account, so I'll sign up. I'll sign in. Okay, while I'm on it, also go to Zyper. I already have an account here, but I think Zyper have like a trial, which I'm not sure if it's still valid, or if it has expired so far. But let me see. Literally, I'm just looking for the sign login. Yeah, it took time to come up. I already have accounts here, I'm pretty sure. So I want to log in. So they all have similar use cases. I just want to show you what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. It's taking some time to load up. Not sure if it's my network, but let me see. Yeah, I think I have pretty good network down here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why Make is taking a lot of time. I just refresh that. Yeah, I think that the authentication did not work. I just tried again. But I think we already have Zyper here. So Zappa have what they call zaps, where make calls their scenarios. I mean, they do probably the same thing. You can literally use inbuilt modules. This is what I mean. Let me show you. I think make looks more user friendly than Zap. So click on Zap. So you see, they have trigger, they have action. Let me see. So I click on trigger, and I'm literally looking for webhook right here. Yeah, so it's available on their premium. So they're not gonna allow me to use this. I think that will ask me to upgrade. No, it did not, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work. So they have a trigger. When I click on trigger, let me show you again. So when I click on trigger, there was a lot of options. Mainly, I can use. This is supposed to give me a URL. Again, not sure if this is gonna work. So they have a trigger is like what should happen. So they have options like inbuilt modules. If you're trying to use the inbuilt modules, let me delete this and open that again. I just click continue. Let me see what happens. All right, let me see if Make is here. I use Make more than Zypa. Yeah, so Make just have a very friendly interface. Okay, so if you take a look, so they give me a webhook URL. Hi, Shani. Nice to have you on the stream. Yeah, you're totally new to all of these. Yes, I'm going to try to make it very easy and understanding, so that even if you're new to it, you have like you have something to go back home with and build upon as the foundation. Okay, and also you can check out the web page link I shared earlier right here on the screen. So that gives you a little bit idea of how webhooks and how we can actually build our own integration and so forth. Again, I'm trying to show platforms, integration platforms like make.com, zypa.com, how they works, how they work literally, and then we'll dive into building our own integration, in our own integrator. So for make have something we call scenarios, just like Zypa have what they call zaps. When I clicked initially, when I click on the trigger, it gave me options, like different options. Let me show you what I mean. If I go to make, they have what we call scenarios, just like Zypa have what they call zaps. Scenarios are like where you can create a scenario. So the name actually explains what it does. So they have inbuilt modules also. So they have a whole lot of inbuilt modules, like thousands of applications and modules you can connect to, right? And you can literally authenticate with them. Like, so let's say you have, let's say you want to connect to Google Forms or Microsoft 365 Excel or even OpenAI. You just click on it and you authenticate, and you can select a thing from there, and then you can listen to. So that's a trigger. Is watching that particular what's it called, module or app. Let's say you choose Google Sheet, for example. It gives you the options to choose your sheet, authenticate your Google account, and choose a sheet to watch. and then you can go ahead to keep creating actions based on that. Let me show you what I mean. So when I click on Google Sheets, I can select what I want to do. Maybe I want to create a new sheet. Let's see. So add the sheets, add a new sheet. You can select the sheets and so forth. So you can. I've already authenticated this before, so I'm able to like select, go to my drive, select the Google Sheet I'm looking for, and I can just go on and on to do what I want to do. So if maybe this sheet is filled, I'm looking forward to, I'm like listening to this sheet whenever someone enters the details to it, then I can decide what next I want to do, right? Let me also use this as example. I'll cancel this. I should be able to delete this module. Then they also have like webhooks, which is like custom webhooks. If you don't see the application you're looking for here, but you want to use their webhook to listen to an event, so you can actually use the webhook right here. You have an option. They also have like custom mail hook, which you can listen to specifically to mailboxes. Let's say someone sends an email and you want to listen to when someone sends an email and you want to react to that. They also have like custom webhook, which is what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to build our own integrator that can we can have our own custom webhook that we can use, internally or externally, and how we want to use it. So this is how integration platforms work. Just to say, so it asks you to choose a hook. I have previous hooks before. I just go ahead and use that. So this has not been active for some time. Usually, okay, this is active. Not really, but it gives you a webhook that you can now copy. So basically, this webhook is what you plug in into the other system, and it's listening to what happens. Maybe the form is filled. Maybe someone sends an email, and then from here, I'm just gonna leave this. You can add again what you want to do when the webhook brings in data. You can literally keep going on and on. So it's like a workflow. You draw what happens when this happens and that happens. Okay. So just a little picture of the platforms that we're trying to build, uh, uh, behind the scene, what is going on. So they just give you a beautiful UI. You can connect and connect all the workflows together. But we're trying to build our own integrator, you know, just to mirror exactly what happens behind the scene. Okay. So I'm just gonna close this up, and this. So let me know if we have all met the prerequisites. So if you have Node.js installed on your system, if you have a Slack channel, like a trial Slack that you can use. So if you have these, let me know. I just want to just let me know in the comment section if you're having any difficulty with any of this installation of Slack. Sorry, installation of Node.js. You can install recommended install the long-term support version. Okay, so I see Shwani says I do. Let me know. Let me know the challenges you're having, and I can let's do this one after the other. So you can go to nodejs.org. You can go to nodejs.org. So let's do it one. Let's do it together. So you can go to nodejs.org. If you're having issues, you can follow me along. So responding to Shani, who is having an issue, go to nodejs.org. Click on download right here. It will ask you to choose your operating system. So if you're on Windows, you can choose for Windows. If you're on Mac, you can choose Mac OS. If you're on Linux, you can select Linux. So you can choose any of the options here, depending on your work machine, your operating system, basically. Oh, actually, I see. So my question is there anyone having issues? I just want to know if anyone is having issues installing Node. Anyone? So I think Shwani doesn't have issues, so he will have Node installed. So Kofi, you said yes. I wanted to be sure if the yes is you have an issue installing Node.js or you already have Node.js. So if you have issues, if you have issues so far with the pre-request, I just wanted to type in the comment section you have issue, and then let me know the issue you have. Okay, but if not, then I think we're good to go. Okay, so I'm gonna share my entire screen and give me 1 second. So literally, we're just gonna set up our workspace. No issues. Okay, I see. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Okay, so first things first, you can always check if you. Let me bring that screen to the stage. Here we go. Also, let me know if the screen is like small, if it's too big, or if you can see it clearly. So I'm just trying to check the node version I have on my system. I can literally use -v for that. Yeah, that should give me the node version and npm version. Okay, so we're good to go. So you can always check if you are good to go with node and npm. So if you are, then we're good to go. We can literally set up, make a directory. Again, I'm using the terminal. I just love to use that to do create folders and so and all that. Uh, if you're on Windows, if you're on Mac, I think we all yeah the whole systems have terminal. You can use the terminal for this. You can create a folder, go to your folder explorer, create a folder. You can call it mini integrator, and you can open it on your favorite code editor. I use Visual Studio Code, and I think a lot of us use that as well. But if you're not on Visual Studio Code, also let me know. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do here is create a folder, just like the instruction on the web page I shared earlier. So I create a folder. Yes, I have a favorite folder where I store everything I want to make. Make directory API demo. Okay, I want to store the whole code base in here. I'm just gonna copy what I have right there. I'm just making directory and I'm changing my path to that directory. That's pretty much what I'm doing on the screen. So once I'm here, I'm going to continue this on Visual Studio Code. So I'm just gonna type in code dot so I can open this folder for me on Visual Studio Code. Okay, I think that is coming up right here. Okay, I think I'll just turn up the terminal inside Visual Studio Code. Oh, so Coffee says the stream keep pausing. Is any other person experiencing that from their end? I just want to be sure if it's just a network issue from Coffee's side. Anyone having issue with the stream? Is the video pausing? Any challenges? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section if any other persons have an issue. Okay, so Coffee, I think it may be your network. Oh, so video do pause sometimes. Okay, sure, say that as well. Okay, let me try this. Let me try to limit some assets here. I'm going to try to stop the music, the background music, just to reduce some resources on my end. Okay, Shani said not a big issue, just minor. Okay, hopefully to be better now. So I reduced some of the resources here. Hopefully that helps. Let me go ahead and also turn off some applications off until I need them. Okay, good to go. If it happens again, just let me know. Yes, I can zoom a little bit on the screen. Let me see. I'm trying to zoom in. It should be view. Um, Appearance. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, zoom in. So control plus equator. Let's see. Yep. Let me know if that is better. Yeah, I'm sure this is better. It looks a little. It looks more big on my end. Okay, so what I want to do is go ahead and create a folder here. So I call this index.js. Okay, Shani, thank you. Good to know. Okay, so I have a folder called index.js. And I'm just going to continue the rest of the instructions here. So I'm referring to these instructions. So you have the prerequisite. So you have access to the web page. I just copy and paste it again. If you don't, you can just follow along with the instructions from there. Okay. Okay, so npm init, just initializing npm with the initial values, so which is the y, more like yes to everything that you're going to let us. Yeah, just saying yes to uh, the default settings. Then we're going to install some of the dependencies we need. We need Express. We'll be using Express to write our we're using Express to write our API. We're using Axios to make a call to make a call to external APIs, and then .env library to store our environment library. Sorry, to store our secrets, our Slack URL, basically, or any other environment secret codes we want to store, right? So this should be pretty fast. Shouldn't take a lot of time. Let's see. Okay, so I think we're good to go here. Just taking a look. Just one more thing. Not necessary, but you can install NodeMon. What NodeMon does, it keeps watching your code base when you make changes. So if you start the server and you make changes and you don't want the application to you don't want to restart the application manually and restart it, while testing. That's basically the NodeMon. So you can install that as a dev dependency if you want to. I think I already have it globally installed. So I can literally use it without installing it here. But yeah, you can do that, and it will install as a dev dependency. While we on that, I'll be using ESCs. So I want to make sure that I don't get uh, console warning. I don't like getting console warning because of type check. So I'm just going to put type here as module so that it recognizes that I'm trying to use ESCs. That's all. I can just change this to start, and we should have node index.js right here. Okay, and for the nodemon, set it up as well. So dev, I just want to have nodemon run index.js. Okay, I think we're good to go. Yeah, we can close the package.json file. You have the code also, so you can just copy and replace. So you have the code on the web page. You can just copy and replace. Yeah, just copy and replace every single thing you have there. Actually, don't copy and replace every single thing. So if you did npm install, it's going to install the latest version of the dependency. So you just just add type and just change the scripts options so that you can just run npm start from the terminal or npm dev, and it will spin up the instructions here. Okay, so you don't need to just copy and paste. That will give you different versions of the libraries. I don't think you should do that. Just use the latest versions. Okay, so once we're done with that, you can go ahead and start writing, the main code. But before that, let's create one more file. Actually, two files, not just one. So we're going to create two files. We're going to create .gitignore and .env. There's only creating the .env example. Just go ahead and create .env. So I use touch. Touch is a bash command for creating, like create. You can literally just come to the VS Code here and click on new file and just give it a name, .env. That also works perfectly fine. So we need .env and we need .gitignore. So that's the two files we need. .env will store our secret files, secret code, tokens, secret keys, access keys. This way you store them. And the gitignore we need to add. So git ignore is where you specify uh, files that you want Git repository to ignore, basically. So you don't want when you push this code to GitHub, for example, people will be able to see node modules and your environment variables. Yeah, that's very costly. So you don't expose those informations to the outside world. So on the inside the dot git ignore, just go ahead and put in the files you want to ignore. So I want to ignore node modules.env and webhook.log. So this is a file we are going to create dynamically whenever there's a request to our webhook. We're going to log the request so we can come back to the logs in case we just want to trace it. Okay, I think once we're done with that, we can just copy the file for the env. You have a sample of that right there, also on the web page I shared earlier. So copy that and paste it inside the .env file. I'm just gonna clean up some comment. So here is the port. It could be any port number. The webhook, the Slack webhook URL, we're going to get that later. And then optionally, I'm using it's just a custom stuff. If I want to send a pretty text to Slack, or if I just want to send in a JSON format, So this is literally optional. Just me trying to say, oh, okay, I want to send in a pretty message or not. But we'll see the code that literally does that. So if you set this to false, it remains false. But if you set it to true, it will send a block kit, like a pretty message to Slack. We'll get to that in action. So just go ahead and copy this and paste it into your .env file. Okay, so what next? What next is the code itself. Pretty much copy the whole code, and we'll try to go through it one after the other. So I'll just go ahead and copy the whole code and explain what they are doing right there. So copy the app code, index.js code, go to index.js and paste it in there. So what does it look like? I have an issue with the code. Let me see. I'm going to try to reduce the screen a little bit. Here, zoom out should be control minus. Yep. Okay, I think this works. I'll copy and paste this again. I think we have an issue with the code. I'm trying to figure out where the issue is. So let me go through it one after the other. We are importing Express library. We're importing the libraries we installed earlier. So that's a four lines of the first 4 lines, just importing express.env and Axios. So this is a system inbuilt library, so we don't need to install it. So it comes with Node.js inbuilt. So as a FS, it allows you to interact with the file systems. I mean, FS literally stands for file system. Okay, so we're just enabling our .environment library configurations. Creating an instance of the Express, putting our, defining our port to use the port environment. But if it's not available, go ahead and use 3000. Passing in JSON to Express, checking for this is our first API, just a GET request that once the server is up, just return a test. Mini integrator is live. That's all. Okay, so we have the helper function. I'm looking for where we have an issue with the code. Let me see. All right, so we have the helper function right here, which is okay. We have another helper function that should skip. That's a filter function. Let me see. We have the webhook endpoint. And I think we're having the issues from here. One second. Yeah, so what am I missing? The gate is fine. The function here opens and close. It's literally going to be a very simple uh, semicolon or closing bracket missing somewhere. Yeah, because I can't actually close this, so something is wrong with this somewhere. Hmm. I'm going to ask Copilot to figure out what is wrong. Formatting error. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's formatting error. Do you have idea of the line, Sean? Do you have any idea of the line? Okay, so my try and catch is fine. The if statement here is fine. The variable here is the issue. I see. So yeah, we have a variable of text. I think this is where the issue all started. I found line 68. Line 68. Oh, line 77. Okay. Line 77. There's an extra forward slash. Oh, you mean this guy right here? Oops. Uh, 1 second. I'm just gonna copy this out. Yeah, that's not the issue. If I just copy it out, but I still have the issue, so I think this is okay. App dot listing, listen to ports. Okay, consider log this. Yeah, so this line of code here is actually fine. So this is backticks. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna do something right quick. Let's remove the bonus block. Ooh. I mean, let me do this real quick. So I literally have the code. I literally give it to what was it called? Give it to Gemini to develop to spin up the web page, and this is what I have. So I'm just gonna get the real code and paste it in here. Yeah, so I think some of yeah. So I think Sean figured it out, and Ailey also figured out the error. Uh, if you have not figured it out yet, what I'm gonna do right now is just push the main code to GitHub and share that on the comment section so you have access to the correct code. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me do that real quick. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I see a lot of people have fixed the error already. Uh, Coffee, figure it out. Shwani asked ChatGPT to, hey, look at these codes and, you know, give me a free error code, and it will do that. But if you have notes, I'm just gonna do this real quick. I just go to GitHub and I'll push the code to GitHub real quickly. Give me 1 second right here. Let me do that. I just got the mini integrator. Go ahead. Just gonna add everything in here. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this and right here, paste it. And I think I should be good to go. Okay, just give it few seconds. Yep, and let me refresh this. Yeah, so we have the code right here. Okay, so I'm gonna share the code on the comment section. Yes, so no need to post it here. So you can go to the link. So I share the link on the comment section. You can just click on the link. That should take you directly to what you see on my page, which is the code base itself. And you can just copy it from here. Okay. Okay. So I was going to like write each of these one after the other and test it out, but let's not do that. Let's just go ahead and just paste the whole code, and we can just explain one after the other what the code is actually doing behind the scene. Uh, so literally, we just import our dependencies and libraries that we need. We have just two endpoints. This is the main endpoint right here, the webhook endpoint. This one is just a head check. You know, when you just start. Okay, I think Sean is pointing out the error message just in case you. Yeah, but I already shared the link to the full code base, so you can just copy the code from the link from GitHub that I shared earlier. But thank you, Sean. Excuse me, let me take some water break. You're welcome, Sean. Okay, so we have our head check endpoint, just literally just sending a GET request whenever there's a GET request to our default port. Just let me know something is working. That's basically what we're doing right there. So we have the HEPA functions. Nothing much. We're just checking if we have our webhook URL from Slack. You know, we want to talk to Slack, so we need a connection. So we'll be getting the webhook soon. We're just checking if it is available. If it's not available, we just want to throw an error message back to the user that's okay, we don't have a webhook, so we can't talk to Slack right now. And if it is available, this is the payload. We just giving giving out defining the payload how it should look like, and then we just return it back to the user. Okay, whatever Slack gives us, then return it back. Then we have a filter function. So filter function, just like I explained, if we wanted. So this was literally optional. I just added it just to explain behind the scene what the these platforms do in terms of giving you access to the filter. Yeah, so this is like we're building our own custom integrator, so we can literally create filters specifically for our, again, it is a system. It's like your startup. It does a specific thing, so you can literally define whatever you want. So I use the banking system as an example. If account, let's say, is a service account, and they're withdrawing more than $10,000, you know, do something. So that's literally a filter. So again, it's custom. So it could be anything based on whatever you're building. But I'm using an example as we are expecting like a score from the user, and we are expecting if that score is less than 50, then we don't want to do anything. But if it is greater than 50, then we want to react. Just a filter. I just wanted to put that out there as a filter, just in case, just to give you an overview of how that works as well. Then finally, we have the main endpoint doing mainly the whole work. So when there's a post request on the webhook, we are defining our payload. Our payload should be what we're going to give out at the end of the day. So what we're expecting and what we're going to do with whatever we get. So it's coming from the body, so it requires the body. So every single thing from the body, bring it in, and then we're defining a name. This is custom, so you can build it however you want it to be. So I'm literally building it the way I see fit, the way I think I want to pass the message back, internally. So it's a custom platform basically. So it's just building up our custom stuff. I'm defining a variable of name. I want to get name from the payload. If name is passed, if name is not passed, it's just gonna be unknown user. So literally, I wanted to use that information when I'm sending message to Slack to let's say new submission from the name, gotten from the payload, basically. So, but if the user if there is no name on the payload, then just say unknown user. Again, it's custom, so it could be whatever you want it to be. Okay. Uh, Pretty much that's what we're doing right there. For this, we're using the FS library to log in the payload to webhook.log. So it's going to create a file and append whatever request that was sent from the payload. So this is just for our own internal sake. We just want to have a log of every single request that was carried on our system. Again, for log purposes, if you want to go back to see what happened when it happens. So for now, we're just passing in dates and the payload. That's all. But we can pass in more information if we want to. And then we are calling in our what's it called, our filter right here. If the filter is true, then skip. Or if there's no filter, yeah. So we already defined the filter we want to use. So we're literally passing it here. If it's true, yeah. If it's not, then skip it. So I use that name gotten from the payload back here. When someone submits a form or fill in the submission, I want to kind of customize it, make it look a little bit customized, passing in the user's name, and just using the pretty internal keys to make whatever that was passed in look pretty and all that. So nothing much happening here, and then we are sending the plain text to we're sending the plain text to Slack, and then we added a bonus if statement here. So if we set this to true again, this is if we want to send the message in a way. So if we set this to true, then I want you to execute this line of code. Just make the block look a little bit prettier, like this. So just customizing how I want the message to be sent out. If eventually I set the use Slack blocks to true. So again, optional, but just added it there. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'm using try and catch. So at the end of the day, I'm just catching any error that may occur if the webhook is not correct. If anything happens, server error, just go ahead and catch the errors and throw back the error to us. And then finally, we just spinning up the application server right here. So just pretty much 78 lines of code. So let's actually see how it works in action, right? First things first, we need our webhook. We need our Slack webhook URL. So for that to work, so I'll go to Slack. Let me open Slack real quick. Come on. Yeah, I think I should have it right here. So we're going to try to get Slack webhook URL because we want to communicate to Slack, right? So let's see. Slack is opening. If you're on the web version, it's similar to what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so these are like some samples I was doing earlier. I'll just go ahead and delete that. Okay, not necessary, but I'll just do that. So I have on Slack, what I'm going to do is create a new channel. I'll just create a new channel. And it's public, anyone can join. It could be private, it could be public, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I have a channel, and I want to send I want to send information to this channel from our webhook. So from the channel, just go to, you can literally go right here. I think, yeah, just right click on view channel details. Then right here, click on integrations. So you can do this from your Slack web version, desktop version. Click on integrations, click on add apps. So we're doing this because we want to communicate with Slack. So we want to send information to Slack. It's similar to Discord. So if you go to Discord on the channel, if you right click view details, I think you also see an option called integrations. You can just go right there. For the first time, you will not see. So we're looking for incoming webhook. So we're trying to listen to an incoming webhook. So just type in incoming webhook. If you type in webhook right here, you see two options. You see incoming and you see outgoing. Okay. So, but our use case here, we're just listening. We're listening to what is coming in. We are not sending out information from Slack to our platform. Instead, we want Slack to listen to information from our own platform. So just click on incoming webhook, click on install. If you're on desktop, this will take you to a web page. I'll just bring that right here. So this will take you to a web page, just like what we have right here on the screen. Yeah, it's still loading up. Then go ahead and click on add to Slack. So when you click on that, it will give you more options. Again, I mean, you have to make sure you are choosing the right Slack workspace also, just in case you have a lot of Slack workspace. Just keep an eye on the top left, or on the top right, so you know you're on the right workspace as well. Okay, so it asks you to choose a channel you want to post the information to. You want the incoming webhook to listen to and write to. So I created one called Dev Team, so I'll be using that. So and I'll add an incoming webhooks integration to it. So this is literally how when you integrate Google Calendar to Slack or integrate Google Calendar to Discord, so that when you have like events, calendar meeting, you're able to see it on Slack or Discord without leaving the applications. You're able to join the meeting right there from Slack without going to your Gmail and calendar. So it's the same scenario, right? So we're trying to build our own integrator that can allow us to certain things we want to do as well. So once you have added that, you see your webhook URL right here, and they just give you like few instructions of the pay what they're expecting. So you have two options. You're sending a JSON string as the payload, which we have already defined on our code base. So this is what it looks like. Is a test or is a JSON coming in. This is just instruction on how to use that. Also, you can customize it. Change the icon so it can look more realistic. Uh, I'll give you an example. If I installed like Google Calendar, if I install Google Calendar, you will see that the webhook we have Google icon on it. So the same thing. So you can like customize it to be it's listening to a specific webhook, but I want the icon to be this way and so forth. You can customize the name, description, whatever you want to do. But the most important thing we need here is the webhook URL. So go ahead and click on copy URL. That's what you need. And once you have that copied, I can literally close this. We don't need this page anymore. So once you have that, I can also close this. We don't need this again. I'm just going to minimize it. So we'll come back to it. Then come right here and paste in your webhook URL. So, again, this should be secret, but again, I'm sharing it because I'm literally going to, regenerate a new one or delete the workspace. So it's just a test workspace. So nothing much. So we have just copy the webhook, paste it in here, and that's all you have to do. Because we don't want to hard code a webhook URL. It's secret. It's secret. So anybody that have this webhook can literally, use it. It shouldn't be for the public, literally. Okay. So with that, I think we're good to go. Okay. So Kofi asked if I can go back to how I got the webhook URL. Yes, I can. If you're on Slack desktop, this is what I did. So I came into my workspace on Slack, and I specifically went to a channel that I want to send messages to from our webhook. Right. And what I did was to just right click on that channel and click on view channel details. I think you can also do that from here. I think click on more actions, click on, I don't know, I'm not seeing that. Is it edit settings? Yes, so you can also do that from here. So on the channel, just click on the three dot at the top right, click on edit settings, or you can literally just right click on it and click on view channel details. Okay, so whichever option you want to go with, that works. So while you're here, you're looking for integrations. That's what you're looking for, integrations. On integrations, you see apps right here. So click on add app and search for webhook. So you want to get an incoming webhook. So specifically incoming webhook. So this allows you to listen to something coming in and send a message to that channel. So when you click on view, this will open on your. Okay, I have already added this, so that's why I'm not seeing that option. Let me see. Literally click on view. If you click on view, you should see an option like view. Let me show you what I mean. Add, sorry, not view. Pipe webhook. I've already installed it, so that's why it's showing me view, but you should see install instead of view. So when you click install, it will take you to a new page. And let me use Google Calendar as example. Now we want the webhook. So webhook it is. So click on add. It should take you to a page. I close that page. Let me see if I can open that page real quick. So it should take you to a page, and this is what the page looks like. Yeah, so it will take you to a page, this page specifically, when you click on add, and go ahead and click on add to Slack again. Again, just make sure you have your your workspace correctly assigned to at the moment, right? So click on add to Slack. It will give you more options. Option to select the Slack channel you want to listen to, you want to post to basically. So it will ask you to select channel to post to. So go ahead and click on the channel you want to. I'll be using Dev Team, for example, and I'll click on add incoming webhook integrations to it. So that's all. So when you scroll all the way down here, you'll see the webhook URL. So we just need that, copy that, and add that to your environment variable. So add that to the webhook URL. Just paste it right there. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much what we did. You're welcome. Okay, so once we have that set up, let's see what we can do with that. I'll just go ahead and close this page. Instead of closing it, so I'll just keep it handy just in case we need it. But I don't think we're going to need it. So once we have done that, I mean, you see notification on the Slack that you added an integration. Yeah, I'm going to close. You can see from here, there is no message on this Slack channel, so I'm going to close that. I will leave this handy because we're going to need this very soon. So back to our code. Let's test this out. So I'm simply going to run npm start on the console. Okay, so this should start our server. And you can see it's running on port 3000, which is absolutely fine. I mean, you can open this on the browser. That should work. Let's see. Just go to the browser and open it on port 3000. Oops. Yeah, localhost 3000. Okay, so our server is up and running. Okay, so but we can't make a post request from the browser, right? We can only make a get request. Like literally. We can just define a post request here. So we can use postman, or we can literally use give me 1 second. We can literally use the call to test it out. So let's do that. So I'll just copy this. So if you still have access to the web page, so just copy that and run it on your terminal. Again, you have to open a new terminal in this case. So because you need the code running, it's like the server needs to be up and running. They can open a new terminal. If you're on Git, if you're on VS Code, you can literally click on the plus sign to open a new terminal. So we just copy this. So this is going to make a post request, sorry. You're also going to make a post request to our webhook URL. That's the endpoint that we defined earlier. Again, this is what I'm referring to. We define the endpoint, so slash webhook, and is a post request. So we want to post to it. We want to post a content type should be application slash JSON, and we just want to post some dummy data here, so name, email, and a note, right? So I just copy this. I have my terminal open, so I can literally run this from here. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste that in there and click enter. Let's see what happens. It returns okay, true. So it simply means it's worked. But let's see if it actually works. I'll go back to Slack, and it does. Right. So you can see this right here on the Slack. So new submission from Vincent. Again, remember we customized the name, right? So that we can just make it more readable. Like new submission from whoever submitted the form, the name, the field, and then it returns the information right here. So something happened, a form is filled, a form, a data, whatever. Like there was an event, there was a trigger. We submitted a form, we posted a status. So it's all about a post request. When a post request is met, we want to send a certain information. Again, it doesn't have to be, we don't have to send in the data. It could be just an alert. It could be you define whatever you want to send to the to channels, to Slack, to Twitter, to X, you define it. But I'm using this as an example. So whenever the form is submitted, we want to send that information that was submitted to the Slack channel. So again, let me use this in a real world. We have a form. Okay, so Shwani is having error. Can you give me more details on the error you're having? So make sure you have the server up and running. So just to confirm, do you have the server running? Do you have this on your terminal? When you run npm starts on the codes, make sure you have the server running right here. That's number one. Then you can open a new terminal. You can just open a new terminal. Okay, it works for coffee. So let me, on the new terminal, this is where you just make the post request. I copied that from the web page right here. If you still have access to the web page, so basically we're just doing a post request. We're using a call for the post request. Again, maybe you don't have call, but that could be another reason. So let me know the error message you're receiving. Let me see. I don't know what to check for that. Yeah, if you type in Cura, so CURL hyphen version, that should let you know if you have core installed or not. But if you don't, I think pretty much you can use, how do you install it again? Let's check real quick. Let me know the error message you're getting. That will help us debug it and visit out Shwani. Invoke webhook. A parameter cannot be found that matches parameter name x. Mm, okay, give me 1 second. Uh, just do me a favor. When you type in on your terminal, when you type in Coral hyphen help, just type it in. Oh, I'll just try version. I just want to make sure you have. Sorry, it should be hyphen version if I'm correct. When you type that in, do you see something like this? Like, does it give you a version of the Kurat library? I mean, it could be that you don't have Kura installed, or it could just be that what's it called? It could be that there was a misspelling somewhere. Yeah, I can't really like figure it out from. So it's a name parameter not found, and it's referring to the hedge, which is the headers. So it could be a spelling issue, but if that is a problem, you can. Okay, you say no. I want to know if the no is. Oh, I see. Okay, so I see. So you don't have this installed. Uh, uh, okay, so that was a problem, and I think you were on Windows. Okay, I can see Power Microsoft PowerShell right there. So I'm pretty sure you're on Windows. Okay, so that's the issue. Just to ask, do you have Postman on your machine? I think you just have to install this. Yeah, yeah, you do. You have Postman. Okay, that's fine. So you can actually use Postman to run the test as well, right? So I have Postman right here. So you can also use Postman for the tests. So basically, all you need to do is just open a new request, and paste in the endpoints here. So the endpoints in this case would be localhost slash 3000. I defined it, but you can just copy and paste it. Doesn't really matter at this point. Just paste it right here as and change this to post request. So making a post request. Then so localhost 3000 slash webhook. So we want to post to that endpoint. And then for this, just choose body. So it's a body and is expecting a JSON payload. And so just need to define a JSON payload. Okay, so literally just type in some JSON here, some, let's say, name, some email if you want to, some notes if you want to, whatever information you want to pass in, you can just go ahead and pass that in and click on send. Okay, so this returns okay, meaning that it was successful. So if we check our Slack channel again, we should see another information back here. So Shwani, let me know if that works for you on Postman. So you can also use Postman for the test. Let me know if that work. So Postman is literally where you test your APIs when you're building APIs. Yes, it worked. Okay, awesome. Okay, good to know. So literally, we have actually built. Sorry for that. It was really testy. So we literally build our integrator, and whatever information we pass in here, we are listening to whenever the form is submitted, whenever this is submitted, and we are reacting to it, right? So that's pretty much what we have built. But now let's take it a little bit further. Let's see. Just go back to this web page. So we want to use ngrok. Literally is just a tool. You're welcome, Shwani. It's just a tool. It's just a tool that allows you to expose your your local endpoint to the outside world. I'll give you a quick example of what I mean. So you build an application is working on your local machine, but you want your friend to test it out, and you don't want to literally host it online or host it anywhere yet. You want it to be on your local machine, but you want to give them access to it to test it out. So you let's say you spin it up, just like we have spin up our local host right here, right? So our server is up and running, but I can't send this to Sean or Swani to test out, right? Like I can't tell them to go to localhost 300 to see what I have on my local machine. It's not possible. So we can actually use Engro. So Engro gives us the ability to port, map at our port, so we can share it with the outside world. So it's pretty much very easy to install. If you're following up with what's it called with the web page here, let me see. Yeah, uh, yeah, I'm looking for the installation. Okay, I did not include it. I did not include it here. But let's see. You can literally do that right here. Just search for ncroc install. So Shuan says he also want you try this called webhook. Yes, I think it's called. Give me 1 second. On the channel, give me 1 second. I will show it up right here. So you can go ahead and install ncroc. I'll just drop the installation URL on the comment section. Sean, I will come to your question. That's if you haven't figured it out before I come back to it. But you can just install ncroc right from here. So go to whichever operating system you are on, Linux, Mac, Windows, and just follow along with the instruction. So it's like real pretty easy to follow along. If you're on Linux, just this single line of command will install it for you. And you just need your token after you have done that, and then you just map it out. Like it's that simple and straightforward, right? So just go ahead and install. If you're on Windows, you have the instruction here also. I think this takes you to if you want to use Microsoft Store, if you want to use Wingate to install it also. So Wingate could be like real faster. From PowerShell, you just copy this one line of code and install it right there. So you have these four options actually. So you have a lot of options. So you can go ahead with any of the options you want to. But I prefer the terminal one to be faster if you're on Windows. So the same thing with Mac OS and Linux. So go ahead and install Ingrok. Once you have that installed, literally, I think, yeah, once you have that installed, you need to sign up. Yeah, you need to sign up to the platform also. So after installing the the software on your machine, go ahead and sign up. I already have an account here, so I'll just log in. So you need to sign up to get your authentication token. So just go ahead and you can just go ahead and sign up first, and install. You can just install and sign up. Just sign up real quick. You can use the Gmail authentication sign up option. That will be like real quick. So once you sign up, it should take you down here. Again, it will take you down here. So if you are on Windows, you will see this option like setup and installation. Once you just sign up and log in, that's the first page you will see. And this is just what we need, right? We just need this. We just want to copy this code right here. So all we need is the authentication key. That's what we're going to use to authenticate with our local server. So once you have signed up, come in here, select your, yeah, Ingrok is very nice, and it's very good for hosting static website and other things. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so I can also host static website and other things with it, or only API. You can host. You can host. Is you're not hosting. You're just porting, right? So we're not hosting anything on Ingrok. We're just exposing our existing infrastructure to the world, right? We're not hosting. Is so the job of Ingrok is to help you port, right? We just so our ports, our if you our port is on port, our local host, local server is running on port 3000, right? That's the base URL on port 3000, but it's on localhost, it's on local machine, so you can't see it, Sean. If I send it to you, like if I ask you to go to localhost 3000 on your local machine to see my API or my website, you can't see it because it's only living on my machine. So what Encroc does, it installs some softwares on your laptop that helps you port, just map that port that is running on your local machine to Encroc, so that it gives you a URL that can now expose to the rest of the world. Yeah, so, oh, okay, thanks. So I have to be careful with who accesses the link, since they access my PC. So they're not accessing your PC, so they're only accessing that port that you're mapping to it. They're only accessing, so it's just a port. It's an IP, right? Like when you visit google.com, you're accessing that resource, that's google.com. When somebody visits your website, sean.com, they're accessing sean.com. So it's the same thing. They're not accessing the system, they're only accessing that port that you have mapped out to show a certain information. So they're not accessing your system, they're just accessing the resources on a specific port. Okay, so once you're here, I hope that answered your question. And Balak, yeah, thank you. So just gonna rush this up, but you can finish this up later on your own. Just all you need to do is copy this after you have installed. Okay, Sean, glad to know. Thank you. So just copy this and open your terminal, and just run that basically to authenticate. I've already done this before, but it just went ahead and did that again. And then This is just the only code you need. Just encroc HTTP, not 80. So our port is running on port 3000. So we need to port it to 3000. So we just want to port our server. We want to, port encroc HTTP to port 3000 because our server is running on port 3000. So we just change that 80 to 3000. I think if you're flowing up on the web page, it's oh, okay, no, on the web page I think it's 3000. Yeah, so this is what you need. Okay. All right. So this what happens when you do this. It so this is what happens. You see online, and it will port to the web interface. So you can click on this. This will open a. I'll just copy it instead. I don't want to copy it. It could. I'm just gonna open it on my browser. So this gives you an interface where you can keep track of the requests. This is what it looks like. Like you can keep track of all the requests made to it, and then it gives you a friendly URL. Right. So this is a URL you can now share with the rest of the world. Right. Okay. So why I'm trying to rush this, I'm just gonna keep the feedback link right here. So give us feedback. Let us know what we can improve, and let us know what we can do better. Okay. So that URL is probably what you can use to share with the rest of the world if you want them to see what you have built. Right. So that's what ngrok helps you do. Oh, thank you, Sean. I think I'll check it out. You can also send me the link to your app on Discord. I'll be happy to check it out. And thank you. So you can see, because we are mapping this to our portrait thousand, we can literally share this URL with the rest of the world. So I can share this with you, Sean, and you'll be able to see what I'm building. So this is now our base. This is pretty much our base. So the code we ran on the terminal, when we did the call code, we can literally replace the HTTP port with the friendly URL that we have. So instead of localhost 3000, we can literally tell our friends to test it out with this. So literally, this is more like our webhook right now. So this is our webhook right now. So we can literally use this on platforms like maybe Fill-Out, Google Forms, where they expect a webhook. I'll show you that in real quick before we call this a day. So I can literally change this. So this is where it will be listening to. So this is like a unique code for our webhook. And I can send the information from here because it's literally listening to porting to localhost 3000 as well. And this is a new information that came in, right? So I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to go back here, go to form builder, like fill out, just to show you real quick. So let's say we want, each time someone submits a form, so let's say we build a form right here. So fill out has an option where you can integrate your webhook. Again, so this is our webhook, it's a custom webhook. So I go to fill out, I created a form. The form is taking name, email, and message. I go to integrate, click on webhook, and I paste the webhook here. I can click test, it will work. Again, this is our URL. So I wanted to use this, right? So we can put localhost here. We need a port with a friendly IP. So which is why we are using ngrok for this test. So I just put in the webhook address right here. So automatically it's going to publish this. I'm going to fill the form really quick. I just open this form. And yeah, give me 1 second. It says it has some unpublished changes. Not sure it's actually published. So let me see if it works. So I'll just fill this. Let's say John. Let's say John. I'll submit this form. Yeah, I think there's an issue with the form, but let me see. Let me refresh the page. The form has unpublished changes. Not sure. I already published this. I'll just do a test. This is still shows what we need. Yeah, so it says okay, so it's actually working. Again, not sure why it says that, but that's okay. I'll just update it a little bit and publish. Maybe that will fix the problem. Okay, I'll open the form again and I'll submit the form and I'll check my Slack channel. And you can see it came in. So it sent every information about the form, like the form ID, the submission time, and every information that platform sent. Though we can customize it, so but I wanted to go ahead and experiment and try the other things out. Uh, give it a try. Try the polish, and you can try on Discord as well and let me know what you build. Show me what you build when you're done. I'll be happy to take a look at it. Okay. And also, you can see that we have the web log here. It logs every single webhook information to for us, so we can review it later on. Okay. Okay. Just to allow you, so you can take a break and attend the next session. The next session will be building a postcard generator with Google Map API. Yeah, it will be an interesting one. So you're gonna learn how you can build an application using external APIs like Google Map. If you want to build an application that enables map and so forth. Just like if you use Uber uses Google Map behind the scene and so forth. So just do that through API. So I think you should check out the next stream so you can learn how you can also integrate, what applications like APIs like the map into your applications. Okay. It was fun and thank you all. And again, don't forget to leave your feedback. You can see the link on the screen and I also dropped it on the comment section. Thank you guys and see you all next time.